Masai Mara, 2003. Here, in the wild region of the Masai Mara, in the heart of Kenya, a power in the form of a lion was sighted for the very first time. He would become known as Notch. Together with his sons, he would establish a dynasty forever marked in history. Although you may know the Mapogo brothers as the most brutal, I now present to you the coalition that came before them, the Notch Coalition. With his imposing size, Notch led a coalition that ruled over more than 100,000 hectares alongside his 5 sons, Mighty Long, Notch II, Ron, Caesar, and Grimace, literally the strongest lions in Africa. Chapter 1: The Origins of Notch. The story of Notch began at the turn of the millennium, when the majestic lion of Masai Mara had not yet claimed his throne. Born in the wild around 1999 or 2000, Notch was at first just another anonymous member of the vast ecosystem. However, destiny had great plans for him. It did not take long before he formed an alliance with another powerful male known as Lightmane. Together, they carved a path toward unprecedented dominance. In 2004, the confidence of the pair had grown so much that they challenged the famous lions of the Marsh Pride, lions who had become well known thanks to the Big Cat Diaries. The bold confrontation of Notch and Lightmane resulted in a triumphant victory, expelling the former leaders Simba and Blondie and establishing themselves as the new rulers of the Pride. Chapter 2: Unprecedented Challenges. In the Kingdom of Lions, territorial disputes are common, and the winners often eliminate the cubs of the defeated. As expected, Notch and Lightmane were no exception. After seizing control of the Marsh Pride, they took command of the lionesses and eliminated the existing cubs, securing the future of their bloodline by fathering offspring with the lionesses of the Pride. Amidst this dazzling landscape, in the middle of 2005, the Marsh Pride territory faced threats from rival lions. Lightmane, Notch's loyal companion, lost his life in a fierce battle for supremacy. Many predicted the imminent downfall of Notch, but he defied all odds. With cunning and mastery, Notch continued to command his territory as a solitary leader, proving that his reign was indisputable. Chapter 3: The Family Lineage. The reign of Notch was marked by his ability to sire many cubs with the lionesses under his control. His partnership with them ensured the survival and proliferation of his lineage. In 2007, the Pride had 8 cubs, 5 males and 3 females. For 2 years, Notch managed to fight and protect his territory alone as the Pride's only male. However, destiny is relentless. In that same year, 3 new males invaded Notch's territory and drove him out of his lands. But Notch was not willing to lose everything. He left, taking with him his 5 sons, young lions only about 2.5 years old. Their escape was a desperate struggle for survival, and they barely made it out alive. Now, as nomads in the vast wilderness, Notch took on the responsibility of guiding, protecting, and raising his sons into adulthood. In doing so, he raised the 5 who, together, would become the strongest coalition the world had ever seen. Chapter 4: Understanding Lion Coalitions. How lion prides are formed. Lions are the only felines that live in groups called prides. These prides usually consist of about 3 or 4 males, roughly a dozen females, and their cubs. Male cubs are forced to leave the pride at around 2 or 3 years of age and then form their own groups, thus creating new prides. What is a coalition of lions? A lion coalition occurs when a group of 2 or more males join together. These males are usually brothers, half-brothers, or cousins who would have grown up in the same pride. The main reason lions form coalitions is protection and survival. As they grow stronger, their focus shifts from survival to conquering territory. Notch defied all expectations because, as we have learned, lions usually drive away their own sons and do not care what happens to them afterwards. Not only did Notch raise his 5 sons, but he also formed a coalition with them. Chapter 5. An Indelible Dominion. Notch and his 5 sons, Grimace, Mighty Long, Notch II, Ron, and Caesar, formed the most feared coalition in Africa. Characteristics of each member. Caesar was the largest of them, with a wide head and robust frame, though not the tallest. Grimace and Notch II were the tallest from head to paw, with Grimace being slightly longer. Ron was the smallest among them, yet at one time he was the leader. Notch, the legendary leader, fierce and second in size only to Caesar, was feared even by his own sons. Mighty Long. There are few records of him, but he seemed to have the potential to become the largest in the coalition. Taking this into account, the Notch coalition surpassed the Mapogo lions in terms of individual size. Notch began his reign around 2008, characterized by brutal efficiency and strict control over the region, expanding his rule to cover more than 1,000 square kilometers. His lands included areas such as Paradise, Serena, Olkiombo, Musiara, Rakero, Breakaway, Rongai, and the Lookout Prides. The Masai Mara witnessed the terror and supremacy of Notch and his sons. Their control and intimidating presence drove away other lion coalitions and predators. For nearly a decade, the coalition was responsible for the deaths of countless lions, believed to number in the dozens. In 2010, Disney's film African Cats captivated audiences worldwide by highlighting the Notch coalition as a central symbol of power, showcasing their impressive hunting tactics and dynamic interactions with rival lions. Chapter 6. The End of an Era. Over the years, due to countless battles with other lions, the Notch coalition lost its members one by one. As with any story of dominance, the vast stretch of territory meant long patrols. In 2010, Mighty Long disappeared, probably due to clashes with rival lions. By the middle of 2013, Notch himself never returned from a raid into enemy territory. It is believed that he died of natural causes due to old age. In 2014, Grimace disappeared, and in 2015, only his bones were found beside another animal, indicating that the two had fought and fatally injured one another. The 3 remaining, Ron, Notch II, and Caesar, settled in the Lookout Hill area, still forming a strong coalition. The final chapter of the Notch reign began in the middle of 2016, when Ron met his end at the hands of the Sand River males. 1 year later, Caesar developed an abscess on the upper part of his right hind leg. Veterinarians treated him, but 2 months later he was found in very poor condition, barely able to move. He was last seen lying motionless on the banks of the Mara River near Lookout Hill. It was neither a fight with other lions nor a conflict with humans. Caesar died of natural causes. Notch II was the last surviving member, though he went unseen by cameras for some time. Yet in a surprising turn, following in his father's footsteps, Nach II appeared alongside his fierce son Spearboy, reflecting a dynamic similar to the original Nach coalition, and signaling the continuation of the family legacy. Although we do not know exactly how Nach II fared, we do know that his son Spearboy is alive and currently 11 years old. Despite hardship, Spearboy is a true warrior who never gives up. Even with a disability in his left hind leg, he was recently seen again after a period of absence. Chapter 7. The Legacy. Some time ago, a pregnant lioness was sighted near a bush in the Masai Mara. With her were 2 small cubs crawling about. These cubs, sired by one of the Nach boys, were grandchildren of Nach. Today, they are already adults. As you can see, the legacy and lineage of Nach still live on through the descendants he left behind. Although the legendary coalition no longer exists, his grandsons continue to hold control over important prides in the Masai Mara. Thus, with absolute dominance, the Nach coalition became etched into history. And this legacy will continue, for a new era is coming. The grandsons of Nach are on the rise.